This episode is brought to you by FX's Feud, Capote versus the Swans. Inspired by actual events, the series tells the story of Truman Capote and the women he betrayed. The original housewives. They were society's most elite women. Rich, glamorous socialites who defined a bygone era of high society New York. From creator Ryan Murphy, this drama series features an all-star cast, including Naomi Watts, Demi Moore, and Diane Lane. FX's Feud premieres January 31st on FX Stream on Hulu.
Wow, this is refreshing. I'm Anita Joyce here with Kelly Wilkness, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Quick and cheap decor refreshers. And don't we love something simple that we can do in an afternoon or maybe in 10 minutes that just gives our house a fresh feel?
Oh, yeah. Quick, fun, easy, and just give your home a new look.
Mm-hmm. It can be hazardous, though, because I did move some chairs around and I decided that I had some chairs in a place they really shouldn't be. And I just threw them up in the hallway upstairs and I was told that they were a hazard.
Yes, a hazard.
Because I hadn't had time to put them anywhere yet. And of course,
they were in transition.
Yeah. I know. So, yeah.
Well, you know what this episode is really about, in a sense, is taking those blinders off and just taking a good look and shaking it up a little bit. Like you're saying about these chairs, like they just landed there. But I mean, yes, you're not going to leave chairs in your hallway, but lots of things land places and we don't really like where they are, but they're just there, or something's been there for a long time. So it just stays there. When you open up your eyes and you take those blinders off and you really start to look around, there might just be things that you need to take away or dust off or just move to a different spot. You don't have to go out and spend any more money. You don't have to buy anything new. So it might be a lot of taking away, rearranging, and maybe you want to update a little something here and there. But we're going to give you some ideas today on quick and cheap refreshers that are really going to make an impact in your decor.
Well, and it's interesting that you're talking about a lot of this has to do with simply moving things around. When I first started decorating and I found something that looked good in a room, I was afraid, Kelly, to move anything because I thought it looked so good. And I thought, if I mess with this, I just can't make it look this good again. Now I'm in a position where I am moving things every week. Something is moved. And it's interesting because sometimes when I move things around, it looks better. Sometimes it looks worse. But here is what does happen. Always. I always learn something. I always get a better perspective on what's working and what's not working. And here's the other beauty of it. If you take a picture of it before, take a picture of it after, and then compare them. And if you've got a lot of stuff in some particular bookcase and you're afraid you're going to not like the new way you have it, take a picture of the old way so that you can put it back the way it was if you want to. But my thought is, when you move things around, you're going to like the new look. And you're going to play around with it till you do really like it.
I am smiling when you're saying this because it is so true. I felt like I nailed it. And when I first started really, really, really getting into decorating, my vignettes were really elaborate. I'd be like, this acorn is just the perfect angle.
It's just, and I'm just going to leave the right way. That's right.
So it's just like that. And then I'm going to take out my tripod and I'm going to take some photos of it. And I'm never going to move that because I could never possibly get that acorn in that same angle. Again. And it would stay there the whole season and I would want no one to shake the table kind of thing. And I didn't have the confidence just to be like, rolling that acorn along because I know I can achieve a look that I will like again in a different way, in a different spot tomorrow or next week or next season or what have you. So there's the confidence level. And then another thing to mention when we're talking about this is, I always find it amazing. I guess it's just human nature, right? You get something and you just feel like, oh, that looks so dang good. And I just love it. And it's all working together and it's not too much. It's not too little. And the colors are all working. And you step back and you're like, yes, whether it be a bookshelf or whatever it is you've created. But then at some point, it's usually several months later, you're like, I am so tired of that. Or I can't even believe I think that looked good.
Well, and sometimes it's not that it looked bad, but you really need to change things around because you'll get bored with it.
Right.
And it may not even be that it looks better, but it's just different.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of days that's worth it because I think we do get bored. If it's your house, you're there all the time, every day in most cases. And you want to get excited about life. You want to feel refreshed. And there's nothing refreshing, I think, about seeing the same thing all the time. You want to change things up a little bit.
Yes. Do you agree, Anita? A lot of it is, and I think you will because you're the queen of giving us some empty space. Sometimes you just want to take stuff away.
I would say most of the time.
Right.
Not that I'm opposed to buying things. We know that's not true.
Right. Okay,
Definitely.
So if you took some things away and you gave your rooms a little more space to breathe, or your vignettes just have too many bits and bobs, try that. And then there are some other things that are sort of notorious that people have a blind eye to. Blind eye coupled with sentimentality with this particular item. It's picture frames.
Oh,
and oftentimes it's obviously there's picture frames, and I would say 9 times out of 10, there's people in them you love and you want to see, or places you've been that you enjoy, or some sort of memory, right? So that's all mixed in. But here's the thing. The picture can remain. But if you've got picture frames that some are polished nickel and some are gold, and one of them is made of resin, maybe it's time to unify those, cull them out, and decide the ones that you're going to keep, decide the pictures that you're going to keep. And maybe you put them all in frames that match.
Okay, Kelly, this is dangerous territory. And you know why?
Why?
A lot of these pictures were gifts, and the frame was part of the gift.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, so just think about it.
So got any thoughts there?
Well, what does Marie Kondo say? Just because someone gave it to you. But also, if you've had it for an extended period of time, you've given it its day in the spotlight, maybe it's time to change things up a little. I'm just saying. Or maybe you move that to a different place. It's not on your piano. The other thing is, too, like sometimes, and this is really awful. Let me just be really awful.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're doing it instead of me. Go ahead.
Sometimes the pictures in the frames date the whole decor. Truth be told, there was a house that I love around the corner, and there was an open house, which to me means come on in and poke around and see if you get some decorating ideas. So in I went on Sunday, and I looked around, and oddly enough, because most real estate agents have you take away all your personal things. And see, personal things don't really bother me at all. I kind of like that. Like, I'm clearly the odd bird out when it comes to real estate.
Let's face it.
Yeah, I am definitely a little strange. I'm like, no, the dirtier, the uglier, give it to me. I'm like the Statue of Liberty of real estate. Like, bring it to me, everybody. I don't care. I'll take care of it. But these people had giant pictures of themselves skiing and doing all these sporty activities.
Wow.
But all the pictures almost look like they were kind of like ads from the early 80s.
So they were all professionally taken.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But they were in like these ski outfits that you were like, oh, that's 1982 kind of ski outfit or whatever. It just made it made the entire space feel dated.
Well, as a portrait photographer, I have tons of portraits of my girls that I took when they were little. And I think I've taken all of them down because I felt like I'm not getting rid of the pictures. These are pictures of my girls. I love them. They're special for me. And if you want to keep up portraits like that, I think that's fine. But for me, I felt like there were too many. And I felt like it did kind of have just not a up-to-date look. So I took most of those down. Yeah.
Now, we realized this could be a controversial topic.
I did not throw the photos out. I still have them. I've saved them.
Right. And as you said, and really what I started out was very innocent. It's just your picture frames.
Right.
So think about the picture frames.
But here's the thing with those frames is, and I do this with other things too, is you can have a little box that you put these sort of things in, and you can put them there for like a year, or perhaps it's 2 or 3 months. If nobody notices after a couple of months, I say you can ditch it. if they don't notice, then you can,
I may or may not have done that with the
or
marginal stuffed animals
if
that
you
no one
have
really
some
wanted, but we had. Mhm.
I just know a friend of mine when we had some sentimental things here that were just too much. She said, "I'm going to take this off your hands for you." I don't know what
a
she
good
did with
friend.
it, but then I could honestly say, I don't know what happened.
She took those out to the woods for you.
They've been set free.
Okay.
They're on a farm now.
Right. They're being taken care of on a farm with other mismatched frames, and they're all happy together.
Yes.
We're not mean, and you know it, but just think about that. Okay. So let's move on to the next one.
Okay.
Lampshades. Okay. Lampshades they're functional, obviously, right? Everybody, you need a lampshade if you have a lamp. But sometimes the lampshade has overstayed its welcome. It could be, if it was a white, it could be yellowing, it can be dusty, it can even, they're pretty fragile. It could even get dented.
And
faded.
Sometimes they're really dated looking.
And sometimes they're dated looking. Yes. Yeah. And that can really date your whole decor. Even though you might not notice them because they're your lampshades and you're seeing them every day, they're kind of big. They're definitely going to make some sort of impression on your overall look. So this is taking the blinders off. Go look at your lampshades. There are a lot of cooler lampshades out there.
Well, the thing I love about this is some of these lamps a lot of times people spend money on their lamps. But the beauty of it is often the lamp is not what needs to be replaced, simply the lampshade. And 9 times out of 10, changing out the lampshade is much cheaper than changing out the entire lamp. So it's such a beautiful way to refresh a lamp. And you and I both love vintage lamps. And I always change out the lampshades because they're always dated. Oddly enough, I think that's why the people sell them, because they look dated. And I don't think it occurred to them, I can just change the lampshade and there you go.
Yes, because they think of it as one unit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But we don't, because see?
We don't, and neither do you.
Exactly.
The other silk lampshades. Now, they may have been expensive in their day. They may still look pretty good. They've been dusted and cared for and not faded or anything like that. But still, silk lampshades, you're picturing the one I'm talking about. In your head, everybody can see that lampshade. That is a very dated look. So even if you decided not to get rid of them, you could put them with the frames in the garage for a little while and see what happens. No, because maybe, someday you'll be like, wow, I really want to bring back those. I'm picturing like the ones that have and they would have that braided cording running down the spine of them. Like those are old fashioned looking. I love natural woven shades. I love wicker ones. I love burlap shades. I love drum shades. I'm loving all of them for now. And that really changes up your look. Even in my entryway, I have that one lamp on the entry table and I have water hyacinth shade. And so it's that woven, it's kind of like thick woven, natural woven.
Kind of like a burlappy look? Is that what you mean?
No, it's not burlap. It's like really kind of chunky. You've seen it.
Oh, it's like the rattan ones kind of looking, or wicker almost, or rattan.
Right, but it's not wicker. It's water
almost seagrassy or something. Yeah. I've seen those, of course.
Ballard has those.
They're lovely.
You'll see them at Home Goods. So I have that, pretty much all the time on my entryway. So I took that one off and I just put a black shade on there. Wow, it really changed the look of the entryway.
They're the classics.
Yeah, so that was great. So, and it really blended much nicer with the wintertime feeling that I was trying to have going on. So even if it's a seasonal thing, you could change out your lampshades.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've touched on this one before, but I think this one deserves a second look, and that is those faux plants that don't look real.
And or at one point they did, and then they just got dusty and they weren't cared for right. Yeah, or a little squanched.
Yeah, so faux plants, faux flowers, but if they don't look real.
Listen to our faux flower and plant episode. Take a look at my YouTube. You can see some examples of really well done.
Right. We're not saying don't have the faux, but just be careful about the ones you choose.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely pro faux now. I've changed my mind. Unhealthy real plants too.
Yeah.
At some point you might just give up the fight. Sometimes a plant is just not going to be happy where you have it. And if maybe if you overwatered it once, that's fine. You can usually bring it back. Try that stuff I told you guys about, Thrive. I could put that in the show notes too. It's a little liquid food for your indoor plants. Try that. But if it's been like 6 months and it's just not looking great, again, that's just a downer on your decor and also kind of depressing. Like, who wants to look at it like that? Or plants that, like the pythos and things that grow really long, and people let the vine too long. And so then it's just all sort of stretched out and there's no
leggy.
Yeah. Leggy.
Too leggy.
Yeah. Leggy. Exactly. Just clip them. Like you might feel, I don't want to clip them. It looks so healthy. If you twirl them all around, it's like a man doing like the dewlap wrap. Like, no, like the comb over. Don't do the comb over on your plants, right? Just cut them. And then when you cut them, they will naturally get fuller again because they want to grow. Yeah. If they're happy, they're going to want to grow. And then just keep clipping them. And if you clip them, they're like, finally they catch on. They're like, she doesn't want me to get longer. She wants me to get fuller. Got it. And then you'll have a nice fuller plant rather than this draggy, leggy thing.
Yeah, we dropped a door on a plant of ours when we were first married, and we just thought, that's not so good. But it actually just cut it back. We cut it back, and it was the healthiest plant for a long time. So it was like, you actually
pruning method.
It was.
You remove a door from the interior, and then you drop it on your plants.
I know we weren't the most careful. What can I say? What about thinking about your tables? We usually have a table runner or tablecloth or placemats on our table. And that's such a simple, fun way to change those out. You can just change them out probably with something you have in your house. You can go buy something new. Here are a few ideas with that. I do not limit just tablecloths, table runners, and table runners, tablecloths, and placemats. Mm-hmm. I don't just use those things on my table. I kind of have opened up my mind to other things that can act as a tablecloth. So I sometimes use throws for a tablecloth. I have used the Turkish towels, and you can even use a clean small rug that's very thin.
Wow. Right.
Yes, a tapestry. There are I used to buy fabric remnants and then sew the edges over so that you don't see those, hem them. And I use those for tablecloths all the time. Usually They're inexpensive because it's just a remnant. And depending on the width of your table, I had an especially wide table, so the 54-inch was not wide enough. But most tables these days are narrow enough that you wouldn't have to add any fabric. Because I used to have to add fabric on the ends, but I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. And obviously a runner, you don't want it to be short on either end. That looks weird. But if you're doing like a square piece in the center, and even you ruche it up a little bit, if you've got something, I think that looks pretty. I don't think you don't need to have a full on tablecloth that's covering every bit of the wood. Right.
Well, that's what I do. Actually, usually the tablecloths are not big enough for me to go the length of the table. I actually turn them the other way so that you see the ends of each of my table.
Yeah, I think that's
either end of the
refresh.
table.
I think that's a fresh look.
Right. Yeah. But so, just kind of change out that fabric, change out the cushions at your chairs at the table, put some pillows in the chairs. There's so many fun things you can do. You can put a grain sack in the center and use that as a table runner.
Oh, yeah. I love those grain sacks. I'm never going to stop loving those.
I have quite a stack. I know.
I just know I'm never going to stop loving them.
And they're harder and harder to find. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Hey, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, but keep listening so we can continue bringing you DTT. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free, that's right, a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. BritBox just keeps getting better. The new Archie is amazing. And it's not the comics. It's about Cary Grant. Archie is the brand new limited series starring Jason Isaacs as Archie Leach, the man who became Cary Grant. From the award-winning screenwriter of Philomena, Archie tells Grant's born in Britain, made in Hollywood story, the dramatic grit to glamour transformation that led him to become one of the most famous people in the world. You are going to absolutely love the acting, but also the styling, the outfits, the scenery. It's the first time his story has been told in collaboration with his daughter Jennifer Grant and ex-wife Diane Cannon. The performances from Jason Isaacs and the rest of the cast are amazing, and it's only available on BritBox. So sign up for BritBox today to stream Archie and other fan favorites from any device. And we have a special limited time offer for our U.S. and Canadian listeners. Get 50% off, yes, that's 50% off your first month when you sign up for a monthly plan. But only if you go to BritBox.com and use our promotion code DTT at checkout. You're going to love Archie. So head over right now and get 50% off your first month of BritBox. Use the promotion code DTT at BritBox.com. Okay, here's one. Take it as you will, everyone. It's just a suggestion if you want to. If you got your blinders off and you're looking around, maybe you want to move away from those earth tones a little bit. You know, maybe
they just came in.
Well, no, if you haven't done like something like, yeah, but let's just stop there. Nothing comes back the same way it was. Okay, I'm trying to gently say if you're still in Tuscany, it's time.
Oh, Tuscany.
Right?
Yeah.
Because even if you're like, hey, look, these colors are coming back, they're not coming back the same way you did them.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't you think?
I think that is correct. But my caveat is, well,
and if you don't think it's correct, you can email Kelly at mysoulfulhome.
No.
gmail.com.
I just hesitate a little bit when we say stuff like that, just because we do encourage people to have their own personal color palettes. So if the red and the yellow is just your colors and that is just who you are, then I am not going to be the one to say get rid of it. But if that's your signature look, keep it.
For sure, Nita Jean, that is our motto. Okay. I'm saying if someone had now removed their blinders to seeing what was actually in their home and they're like, ugh.
Oh, right.
Then here's a way to do it. Oh. But if you're like, I love this is me, awesome.
Right. And this is really more so about kind of looking at what's in your home with fresh eyes and not so much to, is this hot right now or not, but is this still feeling fresh for me? And I think we do buy things sometimes and then we love it when we buy it and then we don't think about it again for 20 years. And then suddenly we look around and realize, oh my goodness, I bought that because it was trendy 10 years ago and it's no longer trendy and I no longer like it. Then if that's the case, move it on out the door.
Okay. Consider painting your stained wood cabinets. Okay. I said it.
Oh, okay. You know, I got in trouble for saying I wanted to paint my stained cabinets and calling them dated.
You did?
I did, because somebody said, but those look like mine. So basically I just like, I'm sorry, but I'm talking about mine.
And I'm talking about me in my house.
I know.
This has nothing to do with you.
Well, apparently.
If you love it, we love that you love it, and we support you with the love it.
Right.
But hey, we don't have to talk about it anymore, but you might want to consider it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. I think it's something to think about. But again, it's personal preference. And if you are hiring it done, if you're having your cabinets refaced, it's not a cheap thing. Mm-hmm. So, it's going to be something that you'll have to work into your budget probably.
Right. Or you could do like many of our listeners and readers have done, and you can do it yourself.
Yeah. Another idea I love, because there are so many people that don't like their sofas, but it's another one of those things that can be an expense. And the other option for replacing it, if you're tired of looking at it, is to get a really cool throw. And I don't mean a small throw, I mean a really large throw. Something probably more on the size of a bedspread, and drape that over your sofa. I think I've seen it done so many times in these older homes and a lot of English homes. And it's just a beautiful look. It's kind of a slouchy, comfy look, but it's one that really is charming that I'm very drawn to.
Yeah, I mean, I think that look is really appealing too. I get that whole, like you're in this estate home for the weekend and kind of feeling thing. So I'm wondering, so does the coverage go over the arms in your scenario, or does it just go over the back cushions and the seats?
No, I think it's just going to go over the back and the seats. I think once you start extending it to the arms, it's going to start looking very messy. So I wouldn't do that.
This is what I must live with my doggies, because I don't want my 3 friends on my sofa, and that's where they like to look out the window.
Well, you could easily just do something just across the seat cushions. You may not even need anything along the back.
No. They like to sit on the back and look out the window.
Oh, yeah.
And then sometimes they lay on the cushions. And then sometimes
Are they on the arms?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes they're on the arms.
Okay. Well, so here's actually, I know I probably shouldn't even say this. Oh my goodness. It makes me sound so weird. I actually have a cotton rug draped across the back of my sofa is slip covered.
Right.
But I have a white or cream and blue striped cotton rug draped over the back, kind of like a throw. Then I have pillows. And then I have 2 throws over each arm, just because we have a lot of throws that are kind of the same color as the slip cover. So you can do throws over the arms, just kind of make it the same color as your sofa. And I don't think people will it won't be so obvious.
Yeah, that's what I do. I have a big gray blanket of sorts and then a throw on the other side, because I need to find something or make something that fits, that covers the whole thing.
Well, just make it. Yeah. And if you make it something really pretty, then it looks like it's meant as a decorative element rather than protective.
Yes,
covering.
Exactly. But I love my dogs, and so I put up with it. But when they go grooming, the first thing I do is take all that stuff off, wash it, and then I put all my pillows out. And then I can't come up with reasons to walk through the room for the several hours they're gone.
You suffer for your doggies.
Yeah, they're lovey. How about, we talked about lamp shades, but what if you've got one of those chandeliers that, it wasn't very expensive to start out with. Maybe it's silver, maybe it's gold, maybe it's whatever metal, maybe it's oil rubbed bronze, something like that. But you want it to be a different color. Spray paint it. Take it down and spray paint it. And if you're worried about taking it down because of the electricity and all that, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then you could hire someone to come if it was reasonable enough. If you don't want to even take it down, just get one of those little pots of paint and, get on a ladder and just maybe do an hour or so at a time. But you could do it while it's still hung.
Oh, yeah. While you got your spray paint in your hand, that stuff is good for so many things. Look around your room and see if there's something you're bored with. There's probably something that you could spray paint. Or if it's furniture or something else, maybe something that you would use your paintbrush on. But paint is such a great way to refresh so many things, decorative things. I've used paint on furniture, lamps. I've used it even on the fabric on chairs. There's so many things that you can paint. Trays that maybe have gotten a little dated looking, a lot of times a fresh coat of paint, and they're good to go. So that's a great tool to have in your toolbox.
Yeah. Yeah. And how about something so basic, but it gets me so excited. There's always the time for new towels. I just love to get all new towels. And then because we have dogs, I don't feel so bad because then they become dog towels or something like that. Or you can donate the towels to to the Humane Societies or something.
There's a dog shelter around the corner from me.
Yeah.
And I have taken loads of old towels there, and they love them because they need towels constantly.
Yes. Yes. And yeah, ours even takes pillows and stuff for the littler dogs. They make like dog beds out of them and stuff like that. So think about those sorts of things, like your pillows. Does your neck hurt when you wake up in the morning? Maybe it's time to consider a new pillow. Are the towels looking a little bit like maybe they'd be better suited to wash the car than, dry you off? So all things like that. Like, that's just such a fun thing it sounds maybe kind of ridiculous, but I think you all get it. Just coming home from the store with a big bag full of new towels. I love that.
Oh, no, I did that recently. I got rid of all the tattered towels or the ones that were rough. The thing is, I'd rather have 4 nice towels than 20 icky ones. So you probably don't need as many towels as you had. And this is more of a take the old ones out, put them in the dog pile.
Right.
And then just keep those really nice ones to use.
Right.
So you might have to do laundry a little more often, but you're going to be so much happier.
Right. And you'll have more space. Do you have any more fabulous ideas?
I think that's good. I mean, I have more, but I think I'm ready to move on to some
you're going to withhold
things.
a few? You don't want to tell us?
Well, I'm trying to think. I mean, I have hide cords.
Oh, yeah. Hide cords.
Make sure we have a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
Making sure your cords aren't showing. I think that'll give you a good refresh. And changing out those tea towels in your kitchen. How about that?
Oh, yeah. The whole towel department. That's good, too. Yeah. Are we ready for the DTT Define? We are all learning so much from this segment.
I'm having so much fun researching each term. And today's DTT Defines is a Dhurrie rug. Mm-hmm. And I thought this was interesting because I see that term used so many different ways. Or I shouldn't say so many different ways, but a couple of different ways. I thought it would be nice to kind of talk about what a Dhurrie rug actually is. So it is defined as a thick, non-pile cotton rug from India. It was the definition I found for it online, although they don't really have to be cotton. I think it really tends to be more of a natural fiber. So it's a type of rug native to India or its surrounding regions, Burma, Pakistan, or Afghanistan. It's a loom woven rug made using cotton or wool, and sometimes even silk, and it's always a flat weave design. So they tend to be very durable. And the interesting thing about a Dhurrie rug is that if you pull it up, on the backside, there's a pattern on the backside. So a Dhurrie rug is reversible. So if it's not reversible, it's not a Dhurrie rug. But nowadays, traditionally, a Dhurrie rug has referred to these particular rugs from this region in the world. But now it seems that this term has really expanded to mean any flat woven rug made anywhere.
I see what you mean. It's like facial tissue or Kleenex. Like all of a sudden, any flat woven rug is a Dhurrie rug kind of thing?
Well, I think, right, exactly. Although I would say if it's not these don't have backing on them. So if you pull over your rug and it doesn't have a pattern on the back, I'm going to say, this is Anita saying this, that's not a Dhurrie rug. Well, I mean, because that is one of the definitions.
Just to be clear,
people are defining it differently, but by some definitions.
To clarify, like people are using Dhurrie rug just a little too casually, right?
Well, I think now we know. Just a tad.
Right.
Just a tad.
Just a little too loose on the loom there. Okay.
But in general, I think of it as being a flat woven rug, and often the pattern is a geometric pattern. But these days, again, it can be floral as well, but that's kind of one of the newer styles. So, I mean, that's something to keep in mind. But I love Dhurrie rugs. Almost all my rugs are flat woven rugs.
Go ahead. Clean out your closet. Then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor. And I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months.
What's your crush?
My crush. This place is fantastic. Now, I know our listeners are from all over the place, all over the world, and all over the country. But if any of you find yourself in Sonoma County, California for any reason, and you need to lay your head on a really lovely pillow, then you should check into the MacArthur Place Hotel. It is beautiful. Honestly, if I was to own a hotel, this would be the hotel I'd want to own. Black and white farmhouse. The main house is from 1869. Then they built these smaller cottages that have maybe 2 or 3 rooms in them all around the property. It's a 6-acre property. It's just so enchanting. You can't see the whole layout. You have to kind of wend your way through the paths, and it's beautifully landscaped. And there's art displays, statues and things like that, modern art, statuary all over the place, and a fantastic restaurant, Layla, that we ate in out on the patio with the cafe lights overhead. It's definitely historic. We stayed in the main building, which is, as I said, from 1869. The Burris family owned it. They came there and had 10 kids and a farm and a vineyard and raised trotter horses and all of this. But the interiors are so of now, casual elegance, cashmeres, great sheets, and just all the furniture was just so beautiful. I'm sure all of us, when you go someplace, you're sort of taking it all in. Well, I couldn't stop. It was just like eye candy for a design decor addict. Lovely. And you can walk right into Sonoma Square. So really beautifully located as well. We didn't stay very long, just like a day and a half, 2 nights. But you could stay for a week. You could explore all over Sonoma and Napa Valley. You could drink yourself silly all day long, but we did some hiking. We had, save the wine for the evening, but it was beautiful. MacArthur Place, and I will put the link in the show notes.
Wow, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it was really great. Really great.
Well, I haven't done much traveling lately, but that sounds wonderful. And it shows in my crushes. My crush is not going to surprise you because I am trying to help my daughter Evie set up her household in her own apartment for the first time. And so she's not aware of all these things that one needs in a house that are called tools.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So I said, you really need a toolbox because I thought I'm not bringing everything down every time she needs something, and she needs to learn to do these things herself. But I also know she likes everything pink. So I found a really cute set of pink tools in a pink and black bag on Amazon. It's an Amazon choice. Less than $60, but it has a hammer, drill bits, screwdriver, pliers, a level, Allen wrenches, tape measure, and more stuff. But it's got pretty much, the basics of what she's going to need. And so I was very excited to have it, and she's got it. So I'll get to use it when I go down there in a few days to mount her TV wall arm for her TV.
Okay, Mama. Now, shouldn't she be doing that on her own? She's got a toolkit, but you're going to come and use her toolkit. Okay, I see where this is going.
Yes and no. However, now she's never done this, so I can't just cut her loose. Yeah. So what I told her is that I'm going to go down there. I'm going to walk her through it, but she's actually going to, well, that's true. She's going to be doing it, but I'm going to be there. And maybe I do the first screw, but I'm going to have her do it so that she can do it next time without me. And to me, that's the whole point of all this, is teaching her how to do all this stuff herself. Because it's too far to drive every time she needs some little something done.
Yeah. Oh, good. That's so great. She'll like that. It'll be fun. And your dad taught you to do that sort of stuff. Right now you teach your daughter. Way to go.
Oh, boy. Yeah. I learned. Yeah.
Too much.
I did a lot. I was the helper on pretty much every job he had. And it was, And no protective eyewear when there's the drill and the wood saw, there was no protective gear.
Just squint, Nina Jean. It'll be fine.
Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.